Today I'm going to be talking about the best ways I've found to help deal with anxiety and depression, and the best way to make mummy friends, as I found it's a really difficult thing to do. People always talk about how you lose your friends when you have a baby or when you're pregnant. They want to know you, and then when they're born they're like nowhere to be seen or whatever, or they'll see them once when they're a baby and that's it. But nobody ever talks about how to make new friends, like-minded mums that all are going through the same thing, are all new to it, or they may have one or two kids and they may still be working things out but also be looking for friends, because it's hard to come across adult conversations sometimes when you're a mother. You spend all day with the kids, and if you've got a partner, when they come home, a lot of the time they're so tired, and by the time you sort the kids out and have food and everything, you don't have a lot of a conversation. So it's hard to actually arrange things with people that haven't got kids, because as a mum you're always running late. Like, you could be ready on time and your child poos and you've got to change the bum, and then all hell breaks loose and the other child has got themselves undressed and you've just got to deal with it. Then you've got to sort them out and you're running late, and some people without kids don't understand that, and they can't understand that, which is fair enough, but you need the support of people who can understand. And it's very crucial, especially when you're new mum. You second guess yourself quite a lot. You panic about everything. If your child gets one little spot, then you panic. I went to the doctors and to the hospital once or twice about both kids because they had spots on their face, and both times it was baby acne, which was nothing to worry about, and I got sent home. I felt like a dick. Obviously, if they got medical conditions that you're concerned about, or there's anything you're concerned about, obviously still go to the doctors, but it's nice to know that you've got somebody there to give you advice and make you feel like less of a dick for actually taking them. Because the doctors can make you feel silly because you panic about everything. They can make you feel like you're just wasting their time, which you ain't, because it's always better to be safe with the baby. You never know what they can catch, and obviously it's your first time, you're going to be nervous. So yeah, my tips on making mummy friends. The first thing, the most crucial thing I think you can do is go to mother and toddler groups. As simple as it sounds, sometimes it can be quite daunting. I found that when I just had Aria, I was so nervous to go to a mother and toddler group, because I felt they all know what they're doing. They all are going to be judging me because I'm so new at this, and what if I pick my baby up and they think I picked my baby up wrong and they make a comment on it or make me feel awkward, or I was questioning everything. I'd be there worrying about what I do, whether I'd just be sat there like a dick because my child is a newborn, so they're just going to be sleeping the majority of the time. So I thought, well, what's the point in going? What is the point? Like, I'm not going somewhere for my baby to sleep and me to sit there and feel like a dick. But personally, I just do it. With Aria, it took me till she was probably about 5-6 months to even go to mother and toddler group, by which point I was really down and really bad with my anxiety. But at this point I hadn't actually sought any help about it. So I was struggling alone, really. I didn't tell anybody that I was struggling other than my partner, which he didn't know what to say, which is fair enough. He had no idea what I was going through, which is why you need mummy friends to talk to, because they know what you're going through. They know exactly what you're going through, and you'll be surprised how many mums actually have anxiety or depression or both, because people just don't talk about it. It's a big stigma at the minute where people just are nervous to talk about it as if it's a sign of weakness, but in all fairness, it's a sign of strength actually talking about it. It's really, well, it opens your eyes to show you that people around you that actually you think got their shit together haven't got their shit together. And it's silly that we don't talk about it. I found out quite a few people that I know that I'm close with, they've actually got anxiety or depression that they've never talked about or I've never asked about. So I've never been able to go to them for support until I took the step and gone to the doctors, which is the hardest part. So you need to step out your comfort zone sometimes, no matter how hard it is. With Aria, I can remember the one point which really got to me, which really made me go to mother and toddler groups, was I had a child's birthday party to go to, which I'd been invited to by somebody that I didn't know very well at the time, which I know her a lot better now, so I'm not bothered, but at the time I didn't really know her very well, so I was nervous to go to the party, and my partner weren't going, and I was crying before I left the house, like literally crying my eyes out, because I didn't want to go on my own. I wanted my partner to come with me, but he was like, no, you need to do this, you need to go on your own, because you'll benefit from it. And I was absolutely devastated that he wouldn't come with me. I'm thankful for it now because he pushed me, but at the time I was tamping with him and I was crying my eyes out, and I was just like, well, I'm not going to go there and sit there and not know anybody and feel uncomfortable. And you know, it's stupid really, but it's just the way your mind works, and I'm glad of that, like I said, because it pushed me to go to mother and toddler groups. And at first I started to go to one which I talked to quite a lot of the people, because I was new to the area as well, which didn't help. But I talked to quite a few of the people and I got friendly with them, but it was quite a quiet mother and toddler group, so I felt like quite awkward sometimes, not because of anything anybody had done, but just because I'm not as outgoing and I'm not as vocal as other people, and I just felt really uncomfortable on days. Other days I was fine, it was just my personal experience with it, and I just felt so anxious about everything. One day I'd be completely fine, one day I'd second guess myself and everything. But at that point I started looking for other mother and toddler groups, and I found one that I absolutely loved, called Newbies and Tubies. So if anybody is in my area that knows me personally, drop me a message if you want to know anything about that, because it's the best group I've ever been to. It was fab, and I absolutely love it. I love all the people there. It was run by the New Life Christian Church, and they were such nice people. They brought me so much out of my comfort zone, but they made me feel so welcome all the time. And a lot of the weeks I'd just sit there on my own. I wouldn't go with anybody. Nobody came with me. I was just sat there on my own. Even just having a cup of tea in other people's company was worth it. And like, the people who run it was the people I talked to more than anything. I didn't even talk to other people as much, but the people who run it were fab, and without them I'd still be in the place I was before, and I'd still be scared to leave the house and everything. And when I had Finley is when I first started going to this group, and I think he was 6 weeks old. I'd been going then up until when Aria started mithering. Obviously then it got a bit harder to do because she was just like, I had to go back and forth, and it takes me 45 minutes to take her where she needs to go. So I found it harder to keep it up then, which I was devastated about. But then I recently found another little group which I absolutely love, and they've started doing that on a Wednesday and a Friday now, so I've always got something to do. And without them, seriously, like in the half term when the schools are off, all playgroups are usually off half term as well, so I am lost. And that's like, if they're off for too long, I feel like I'm going back into my shell and feel like I just don't want to leave the house again. So that's a big thing for me, I found, that helped me go to the doctors, helped me acknowledge I had a problem, helped me talk to people, which is something you really need to do. I've actually met friends through this, one of which is going to be my bridesmaid, which I'll put a link to her page down below because she makes fabulous cakes and she's trying her hardest to build up her business. She's just starting now, which is something that I think is amazing that she's doing for herself. So I'll put a link down below, so then you can click on there, and if you've got any cakes that you need made or anything for Father's Day, she's started to make like cookies and stuff like that. She's pretty good, so just check her page out. Another thing I found that really helped me is my blogging. It's something so simple. All you've got to do is put a picture up of your child or what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, but it helps you so much in terms of like your sanity, because there's so many nice people out there, like other mums. Instagram is amazing for finding friends online to just have a chat with, and I've made so many good friends off Instagram. It's unreal, and it's surprising how big a community the mums are on Instagram. You do get them on Twitter and other groups like Pinterest and stuff, but I've only just started using Pinterest and Twitter, but I found like Twitter's more people just want to like subscribe to channel. They don't even know who you are. They don't care what you're doing. I'm not saying that people don't want to follow you because they're mums or anything, but a lot of the people I've found are just people who just want to bring their followers up. They're not bothered about what's on your channel. They're not going to watch your videos. They just want subscribers back. So I've stuck to Instagram personally, and most women are just so inspiring on Instagram. They'll post on their stories all the time so you can see what's going on in their day-to-day life. You post on yours and they will comment back if they like what they see, and you can have a conversation about silly stuff like that your child have done. If you need any tips, people will comment. As long as you use the right like hashtags and stuff, people will comment back and help you. Like if you've asked for tips, say on potty training, people will comment and say their personal experiences, and some of them can be quite funny, so it's worth trying to do it on there too. Another thing I'd say as well is with the mother and toddler groups, a lot of them tend to be quite cheap, but I know some people can't spare any money, because if you're not working, tax credits and that can be rubbish. Any sort of benefits can be rubbish for some people, and by the time you pay for your bills and everything, the last thing you want to spend your money on is going to a group or wherever. But libraries, they tend to do them for free. So even if you're a working mum but you're spending all your money on food and spending all your money on childcare and everything, and you just can't spare any money, then there are groups in libraries that do like rhyme time and stuff like that. And it's nice to just get out of the house to have a cup of tea. I know it sounds stupid, but to have somebody else make you a cup of tea is just a relief. And I find personally my kids are always better behaved at groups than they are in the house. I can cope better out of the house, because in the house you're trying to do other stuff as well, and sometimes they just don't stop going on, and because they want attention, which is fair enough, but you can't do it all the time. You can't play with them 24/7, and you need to get stuff done at the same time, otherwise your house would be like a shit tip and bills wouldn't get paid and everything. So it is hard to keep on top of things, but an hour out of the house with the kids to somewhere like the library for a cup of tea and a story or a few toys they can play with, it's worth it if it helps you keep sane. So if you want any help on finding it in your area, a lot of health visitors give a leaflet when you first have your checks done at a couple of days old when they come round to your house. For my area, it was the Family Information Service, and you can go online on their page and they'll have, like, if you type in your area, they have like all the groups in your area, what days they're on, how much they are and everything. So they're worth looking at. Obviously it'd be different in every area, so I don't know what the personal one for your area is, but if your midwife or your health visitor comes round and she hasn't give you a leaflet, just ask her if there's any in your area, because they tend to know, they tend to do it to help mothers. Because I pretty much broke down to my health visitor the one day telling her about my anxiety, so she helped me a lot. And she also mentioned about a group, I'm not sure if they'll do it in your area, but there's a group in our area that they actually come and pick you up from the house, just to get you out the house for a bit and pick you and your child up and drop you back off later. So they might have stuff like that in your area. It's worth a check. Another way you can find out though is just Google it. If you just Google mother and toddler groups in my area, or I don't know what else you could search, but groups in my area, and if you it'll come up then on Google something about using your location. If you click yes, it'll use your location, and then it'll come up with all the recommended places in that area, and they usually do it like nearest to furthest away from you, so that's worth checking out. And then you can look on each website and find out a bit more. You can ring them and find out like how much they are and what days they run and stuff like that. So it's worth doing. And if not, if last resort you can't use Google or whatever, but you've got Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, any form of social media, or even word of mouth, you can ask people. Don't be afraid to ask. Just post on Facebook or something, where are the nearest mother and toddler groups in this area, and 90% of the time, your friends will comment and say, oh, I've been to this one, it's fab, check it out. So all you've got to do is just say, oh, yeah, I'll have a look. You know, it's not hard, but it's well worth it. If I could do anything different, I'd go back and start and try and go to a mother and toddler group from straight away when Aria was born, because if I knew now what if I knew then what I know now, then I'd be much happier back then. I had a very tough time at first, especially transitioning to having 2 kids. It's not the easiest thing, and you need people to talk to, so you know, it's hard to make mummy friends up until the kids go to school. Obviously when the kids start to go to school, you see the mums at the gate or wherever, so you see other women, other parents, so it's easier then. But in the first few years, which is when you find it the hardest, is when you need it the most, it's hard to find it if you don't look. If you're not willing to look, it's hard. So please give it a chance. And if there's any other questions you have for me, if there's anything you'd like to know about anything, or if you even just want to chat, if you were suffering with anxiety, depression, anything that you just want to talk about to me, just to get a weight off your shoulders, then please just comment below or find me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I've got an email address on my Instagram. So whatever way you want to contact me, just contact me. It can be a private message. I'm not bothered. If I can help anybody get through what I've been through, then I'll be happy. So please subscribe below if you like this video, and give us a like. My next videos, I'm not sure when I'm going to be putting my next video out. I'm currently trying to work on my editing and trying to find a good program, because at the moment I've been using trials of everything to try and find a decent program that I get on with before I buy the actual version. So I've had all the watermarks like in the corner or across the screen, which has been bugging me. So if anybody knows of any software that I could get that's not too expensive, or that you can just have for free and then buy something cheap to go with it so that the watermark is gone, then please comment below or message me, because I'm desperate to get my channel up and running. I'm loving talking to you all, and I don't want to stop because I can't find a proper site to edit. So yeah, thank you.